Good morning, Boker Tov, Safra Tava, top of the morn.
Good Vach.
Good Vach. Well, we're already into the Vach. We're into Yud, the 10th day of Iyar, and the Bahab, Minhag Ashkenaz Lasum, Sheni, Chamishi, V'Sheni, V'Cheshvan, V'Iyar. Since we don't fast in Tishrei and Nisan, we push off the tzom. Lekapora al sofik avera. Shema bo'u lehololus mitoch hasimcha. And lachein mivakesh. We also ask rachamim, especially in Cheshvan, the winter months, al Shomim. And here, right now in Iyar, al Aksira. Okay. And I'm going to Ani Achnis b'Kutza Shalano, but chat the different Makoros and different things that they talk about it. There's such a thing as called Encyclopedia Yehudis. So in there, it says, Ivdu es Hashem b'simcha v'gilu b'roda. You know, the idea that you should have simcha, but also you should have yira. So both of these things. With that, I also, one time I gave the shir, and in the middle I remembered that I forgot to mention a halal. I felt very badly. We should always start the shir with the karbanos, the kochim. You know, in this strange hafsakat eish, it reminds me of how maybe the word is hafsaka eish. In other words, it seems like they take a break so that they can make a fire, so that they can actually do terrible things. And one of them was a dachfan nefetz, a drone that carried explosives, was dropped on these soldiers. 4 of them were wounded severely, the psuim kasheh, 4 of them, and one of them was unfortunately killed. Idan Fox ben Shasre mi Petach Tikva. And this is all in Daron Levanon, you know. I think there was Prime Minister, and, you know, they shook hands and they said, we have peace. Yana peace. Oseh Shalom Rak Bimromov. Anyway, so that's, I don't want to get into any political statements. I just want to say we have to be Marbe B'Tfila. Tilim! Tilim B'Tkom Tilim. Okay. Today is the yard sites of Reb Hillel Lichtenstein, Mikolamai, and also Yitzchak ben Yaakov Alfasi, the Rif. I'm not talking about any riffraff. And the Gilyon, there are 2 sides today to their stories. There's Yitzchak Isaac Mikomarna. So we will talk about them. And before we say our Tehillim, I think, by the way, I just want to mention for Tzvi, I know he likes Moshe Chabusha, but yesterday I had a Teimani version, and today I have a Gruzi version. I like, if we're going to say Tehillim, we might as well get everybody in, and I just hope he doesn't wince too much when he hears this one.
I think you may get everybody out.
On Friday,
you'll be the only one listening.
No, the problem was on Friday, for example, I was very proud. I had this Ashkenazisha, and Meir was, he had his tefillin on. He literally had to take off his tefillin because he couldn't stop laughing. He says, "What do you mean? It was the Chevra Kadisha." Turns out that the Ashkenazi guy, it sounded like it. That anyway. To me, I just, you know, Tehillim. Here we go. פרק י"ט.
פרק י"ט. למנצח מזמור לדוד, השמיים מספרים כבוד אל, ומעשה ידיו מגיד הרקיע. יום ליום יביע אומר, ולילה ללילה יחווה דעת. אין אומר ואין דברים, בלי נשמע
עולם.
בכל הארץ יצא קוום, ובקצה תבל מיליהם. לשמש שם אוהל בהם, והוא כחתן יוצא מחופתו. יסיס כגיבור לרוץ אורח, מקצה השמיים מוצאו ותקופתו על קצותם, ואין נסתר מחמתו. תורת אדוני תמימה.
I think Torah's Hashem Temima, Torah's Hashem Temima, Torah's Hashem Temima, Meshivas Nofesh. Hey, Torah's Hashem Temima, Temima, Torah's Hashem Temima, Temima, Torah's Hashem Temima, Meshivas Nofesh. Eidus Hashem Nemana Machimas Pesi. Eidus Hashem Nemana Machimas Pesi. If you heard the beat in the background, that was Svi.
משיבת
I
נפש.
don't know Gruzini, so I couldn't sing the line.
עדות אדוני נאמנה, מחכימת פתי. פיקודי אדוני ישרים, משמח לב. מצוות אדוני ברא, מאירת עיניים. יראת אדוני טהורה, עומדת לעד. משפטי אדוני אמת, צדקו יחדיו. הנחמדים מזהב ומפז רב, ומתוקים מדבש ונופת צופים. גם עבדך נזהר בהם, בשומרם עקב רב. שגיאות מי יבין, מנסתרות נקני. גם מזדים חסוך עבדך, אל ימשלו בי אז אתם, וניקתי מפשע רב. יהיו לרצונים רפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי וגואלי.
Acheinu Kol Beis Yisrael, Acheinu Kol Beis Yisrael, Hanasunim b'tzara
ובשביה
עומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה. המקום ירחם עליהם ויוציאם מצרה לרווחה ומפל ליורה ומשיבו לגאולה השתה בגולה ובזמן קריב. נאמר אמן. השמיים מספרים כבוד קהל דהימלן, der Zellen, dem Covid von Hashem Yisborach, der Menschen, wenn dem here's the, I don't read it, it's small print, Winderliche is wonderful. Let's see. Look there now. Winderliche. Okay. And it says, Umasa Yadov und die Winderliche Zochen Wellen macht Magadaria der Zelter Himmel. Okay, that's my Yiddish for today. And Sri is going to tell us how he is excelling, not Excel, but with AI. Okay. And since we haven't reached that destination yet, we will say a little about, I'll tell you about the Rif. Yitzchak ben Yaakov Alfasi, Mechuna HaRif, nolad ב-1013, ונפטר ב-1103, נולד באלג'יריה, למד בישיבת קירן בתוניסיה, למד לפס okay, Fas, that's where it says in Morocco is Al-Fasi. That's why. He was in a place of fast. That's why he got the name Alfasi. באלף שמונים ושמונה בקורדובה, הוא היה בקורדובה, אחר כך לאלג'יריה. לאלטונה, I don't know what I could read. חיבר הלכות רב אלפס and שסה קוטן. היום זה גם כן יוצא של הלל ליכטנשטיין מקולומאי, בן רב בורך בנדיט נכד של השלוע, נולד ב-1814, נפטר בקולומאי, שזה באוסטריה-הונגריה, היום אוקראין, בי' אייר, שזה היום ב-1890. רבי הלל היה תלמיד חביב לחסם ספר, שהסמיכו לאורו. בשנת 1837 נשא את רייזל, בת רב דוד קולנוס מגלנטה, וישב אצל חותנו 13 שנה. בשנת 1852 נקבל כאב בזדין מרגרטן. I didn't realize Margaretten is a place. בשנתיים אחר כך נקרא לרבונס קלויזנברג, אבל כעבור זמן מה חזר למרגרטן. מכאן התקבל רבה של סיקסה, ומשם עבר לכהן ברב קלמאי. שם התפרסם כאחד מגדולי הדור. רב הלל היה גאון מופלג, לא נח אלא נסע מעיר מכפר לכפר ללמד יראת השם. הוא לא נסע פני איש, ואפילו הגדול שבגדול הוכיח אמרו הדבר שאין ההוגום, לכן היה גם כן סונים. אמר רב חיים מצאנז, כל המהרר אחריו כאילו המהרר אחר שכינה. וזקנוסה רצה לעלות לארץ ישראל, אבל לא נסתייע דבר, שלח כסף לקנות חלקוס בפתח תקווה ליישוב 10 משפחות. הוא חיבר אל הדירים משכיל אל דול, עץ לעשוס, שירי משכל אבס רוכל מקווה דרכי, תורה כנוז, תשובס פייס היל. עכשיו נשמע מרב צבי, פסט, עכשיו ששואלים אותו, מאיפה יש המילים שלו?
What does word fartik mean?
Finished. Finished, fartik.
Fartik is finished?
That's what I would think. Fartik, yes. And if you put the resh before, it becomes Freitag. Now this is, you have to tell us your source, whether it's AI, Beis Yehuda.
Oh, this is all AI.
AI now, wow.
Right. So I'm learning the difference of the definite, like the, what I call the definite article.
Ha! Hey Yedia?
No, what do you say before the word? You say der,
der and das. Dem.
D. So here's his basic suggestion is when you learn the noun, learn the gender. That's what as soon as you learn a new noun, you have to learn the gender with it, because there's really no way to know what it is.
How you don't have to.
Three. It could be zocha, it could be keva, it could be neuter. So, for instance, it said to I should list 5 things, 5 items in the house, and each one with a thing. So I said, der shafa, right? Shafa is a bookcase, a shelf.
Okay.
Is it, or is it a closet?
Shafa.
Maybe it's a closet. It's a closet. Okay. Shafa is a closet. So that happens to be feminine. So it's di shafa. You just have to know that. And then I said, their build.
The picture.
That was wrong too. It's dos build. But why? And here's where he gets it.
Because it's zocher?
No, because words many times ending in a dalid are neuter.
Build.
Build ends in a dalid, so it's dos build. Dos is always neuter.
I'm trying to think of another name. Geduld. I'm trying to think of the other dalids. Okay. Anyway.
Here's another good one. Guitar. So I said their guitar. Wrong. The guitar. Why? Because many words ending in resh are feminine. So if it's feminine, it's D.
But it's only many. It's not all.
It's not all, but it's like a general rule.
So now we just learned that Dalid is
neuter. So that would be dos.
Dos, yes, and resh is
feminine. So that would be D. Now here's another word. You learn things all the time. I wrote der Schreibtisch, right? The desk.
Okay.
So Schreibtisch is actually a compound word. So even though
It's plural?
it's a compound.
I'm saying so.
So it's two words, Schreib
I know
and
that.
Tisch.
Right.
Therefore, it takes the gender of the last word. So if it's Schreibtisch, it takes the gender of a Tisch. Now, what's the plural of Tisch?
Tishtach.
No, Tischen.
Tishin.
So it ends in a nun. So that is masculine. So therefore, it's der Schreibtisch. Der Bleifeder. Now that you have the rule, what would Bleifeder be? Ended in a resh, right?
Nekeva.
Nekeva. So it would be D. D Bleifeder.
D.
So now you're catching on. You see?
I don't know about that. But wow. So many steps for you to be able. First, you have to know. No, you first have to know the gender, and
You
that
gotta know
gender.
the gender.
Who would know that
Gotta know the gender.
Shefer
Shafa.
with resh and
Shafa.
all that? Yeah, that's
No, Shafa is you just have to know that it's feminine.
feminine.
There's
Right.
no hint there.
I
You
know.
just have to know.
You have to know it.
But there are ways to remember to hint to you, and the way you do is the first thing you do is you put it into the plural. Many times you don't know. Like you don't know Tish. I don't know what it is, but I know
Tishin.
Tish is Tishin. Tishin ends in a nun. That's masculine. So then I know it's der Tish.
Is there any singular rule about a zachar? I mean, we have resh, and we have the neuter. You know, dalid.
Dalid.
Dalid resh. What about zachar? Is there anything like a zachar ending? No, not offhand.
Anyway,
Sorry about that.
there's
Okay.
tons of
Rules.
rules.
Okay. Anyway.
Here's another one. This is very interesting. I asked it, which is because this was in Duolingo and I got it wrong. So it said there, tut mir weh de orim. So I said, which is correct? To say tut mir weh de orim or de orim tut mir weh?
Poverty makes me feel bad. Aram? Aram? Talking about Araman?
Arm, the arm.
The Aram?
Arm.
I thought Aram. Aram is poor. Something
No.
poor. Aram?
An orim, orim
Aram.
is a poor. This is orim with an ayin. So which is it correct to say tut mir weh de orim or de orim tut mir weh?
I would normally say there Aram tut veh. I would normally say that, but since you're asking
That's
it,
right. You're right.
that's the
He
way.
says that's the natural way. Subject first in a neutral statement. The orim is the subject.
The
Tut
orim
mir
tut.
weh. He says if you want to say it in the inverted version, you want to say tut mir weh de orim, then you would have to say it with the emphatic. You would say es. Es tut mir weh de orim. Get it?
Us, only
But
emphatically.
if you want to start with the verb, with saying tut mir weh, then you have to say de orim tut mir weh. Got to learn the rules, man.
Oh man.
Hey,
So
man.
are you abandoning the other two sources?
No,
I mean, you're still doing it?
I'm doing it.
This is on top of everything.
Yeah.
And what about Beis Yehuda? I'm missing some Divrei Torah. Divrei Torah.
Shabbos, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Yiddish. Learning Torah is a good design. Yiddish is a great design. Learning Torah is a good design. See, this is the way. If it's on the top, that's the way up.
Okay.
Chaim Tovim. Thank you very much, Zvi. Thank you. Okay, here we go. We don't want to extend the shir too long, so I'm going to hustle. We have another according to Shmaryahu. We have someone else who has a yard site on the other side of the Gilyon. And again, the weather is absolutely gorgeous. was a little too brisk for me to daven outside, but we did. And I'm upholstered. I wore plenty of clothing. Okay. Today is also the yahrzeit of Yitzchak Isaac Mi Kumarna. Ben Reb Alexander Sender Safrin Nolad B'Sambor, which is in the Ukraine, ב-1806, ונפטר בי' אייר שזה היום, ב-1874 אביו, בעל זיכרון דבורם, היה אחד מחמישית בנן של צדיק הנסתר רבי יצחק אייזק אכנשטיין מספרין, ואחיו הצעיר של רבי צבי הרש מזידיצ'וב. אביו, רב אלכסנדר, נפטר עליו בעודו ילד קטן, והוא נדד רעב ללחם. גדל בבית דודו רב צבי הרש מזידיצ'וב. רבי יצחק שימש בין היתר את חותנו רב אברהם מרדכי מפינשוב, את החוזה מלובלין, את רב נפתלי מרבופשיץ, את ישמח משה מעול, ואת בעל אויב ישוע מעבדה ואחרים. רבי יצחק אייזק היה גדול מאוד בתורה הנגלה והנסתר. אלפי חסידים נהרו לחצרו, לאחר שמילא את מקום אביו ברבונס באדמו"רס בקמרנה, שמו יצא גם כבעל מופס ומושיע. הוא חיבר 15 ספרים, מעשה אורג, עצי עידן, פני זקן, עשירית האיפה, זוהר חי, אוצר חיים, נתיב מצוותיך, דרך אמונה, נוצר חסד, מגילת סתרים ועוד. בנו, בכורו, היה רבי אליעזר צבי, בעל המחבר בן בייסי, גם חיבר זקן בייסי ודמשק אליעזר. הוא מילא את מקומו בקמרנה. אוקיי, עד כאן היורצייטים של היום. אני אזכיר במהירות את השמות של החולים, פצועים קשה, את החולים, את יעקב בן דבורה, יוסף דוב בן סורה רייזל, אברהם יצחק בן סימה, מעיין בן שגית, מתנאל בן סיביה, ירדן בן אילי, יונת חיים בן חמדה, נתנאל אברהם בן חייה, עודד אפרים בן ויvian, חיים עדו בן ענבל, חיים בן מירב, ויו רפאל בן ענת, חיים דניאל בן הודיה, איתי בן סיגל, יוסי בן חנה, דוד בן זיווה, ארן רפאל בן אלכה, ניקו בן קרינה יהודית, איתי רפאל בן רותם, יונתן בן עדיתה, שלמה יצחק בן רחל, לאה בן רזית, דוד בן חיה, יוסף בן שושנה, דוד מיכאל בן חנה אנה, רועי בן טלי, אליעד בן יחל בן שושנה, מנחם דוד חי, בן מרים, משה חיים בן קוץ, דני בן יבגלה, נבו בן יופית, ימית בן אייל, אור בן רונית, ירד בן הרי, אורי בן רחל, כולם רפואה שלמה, בזכות הלימוד שאנחנו לומדים היום, יהיה להם רפואה שלמה. עכשיו, אנחנו מגיעים לנדחי ישראל, פרק ל"ט, זכרו תורס משה, שזה קיצור הלכות שבת מהאברהם דנציג. אנחנו עוד לומדים על המוציא, טלטול, וכן אסור ליטול ידוב מהמים עומד שם על תורה חם, to take water בין ראש השורה ונאיב, אם לא, by the stoop, אם לא על פי תלמוד חכם, הידוע לתקן כדין. In other words, if you have someone who could make an eruv, I am the chibur chaya adam. Sif katan yud haya omei bebeso. If he was in his house, if yodo chefetz, he had an object when this galgal miyodo and it dropped from his hand. The katzeh sheni adayim yodo, but he still held on to part of it. When nafal ad pachos miyut tvachim, if it fell on the ground less than 10 tvachim aretz, munach sham, and was lying there al eza davar on top of something. So lachziro, you cannot pull it back to you. Zera shema yipo al kulo. Maybe the whole thing will fall down. Below yeh aguda beodo. It won't be in his hand. It'll be considered hanacha of azu munach b'rishus harabim. Remember, we're talking about akira and hanacha. Aval imlo nach. If it never went down, there was no hanacha. Elatoli ba'avir. It was suspended in air. Mutter el haziro. He can bring it back to himself. Paragraph Yud Aleph. Lo yamad b'rishus yachid v'yashin b'rishus rabim. He should not stand in his private domain and urinate in a public domain. V'chein hefech. V'chein lo yirak. He should not spit, expectorate. V'chein lo yelch b'rishus rabim or b'rishus yachid b'rishus rabim. Acham v'roka b'fonav. You shouldn't carry the spit in your mouth and kvar. Chos holshu v'hafcha b'fiv. In other words, if you have spittle in your mouth, I suppose the way to avoid that is to swallow it. Paragraph Yud Beis. Amavir dalin amos b'rishus rabim. If a person carries for 4 amos in a shus rabim, chayav. B'karmelis asin v'roban. That's the raisa. And if you carry in this karmelis, which is not considered a rishus rabim, not a rishus yachin, as we learned, is also asur. Avol pachas midal tvachim, less than 4 tvachim is a mokum tur mutar. Small paragraph Yud Gimel. Achar motzim rishus yachid, rishus rabim, o machnis, o mavir dalan amos rishus rabim, in a chayav ad sheyaseh akira v'nacha. In order to be chayav carrying 4 amos in rishus rabim, you have to first lift it up, akira, lift it, v'anacha, and have to put it down. The hainu sheyakam rishus rabim, rishus yachid, have to lift it up from the private domain, v'yaniach rishus rabim, and place it down in a public domain. Or you give it to someone else. But if he lifted it and never put it down, in other words, it never was put down, but someone grabbed it, he's not chayav for it. Still, you should not do it. People have delivered food through a Gentile on Shabbat. You should not ever give something that you want to deliver it into the hands of the Nachri. Does akira, because that's a form of akira. You should put it on a table, and the Nachri should lift it from the table himself. And if a Navi is delivering something to you in your house, lo yikacha, so don't grab it from him, because that's considered hanacha. Also Yisrael hanacha. Ela yinichena hanachri al shulchan. The nachri should place it on a table, kadesh yaser nachri hanacha, so that the nachri himself would do the hanacha. Mamaka she'asu l'taltil, in a place where there's no erev and you can't carry malin tinok v'beis hakneses, and you want to have the a tinok go to the shul. We should be careful that the nachri should take the tinok from the house. That they should not be given the tinok. Again, that's akira. Nachri yikach miatzmo. He should take the tinok once. Every pass it from one guy to the other in the rishus harabim, less than 4 amos. To make sure that they don't carry him for 4 amos to having mavir daled amos rishus harabim, because then it would be carrying within rishus harabim. Al dafka the pachas daled amos, less than 4 amos. Because when you get close to the shul, yakzor akom yikach atinach miyad Yisrael lo yitain Yisrael yodo va'akom yachnis atinach beis haknesset. He should so he should not give it to the Yisrael directly. He should put it on a bench. Is saying when someone delivers a letter, a goy, or called over, should not take it from his hand, that he should place it on the table. Small paragraph Yudalid. Od yesh reshus echad nikra karfa. Besides the reshus yachid, reshus rabim, and the Carmelists, there's also a domain called the karfa shelo hukaf ledira. It's not surrounded for a house or residence, not fenced around for a private residence. Kegon mechitza shelo nasu ledur. The mechitzos, the partitions, were not made for you to have a private residence. Elo lishmar shabbatocha, just to guard, to protect that which is in it. Kegon hakef she'osin saviv hasadas vagonos. That, for example, that fences that surround fields and gardens. If it has a length of more than 2 sasayim, shahu ayin amos b'shlishim, 70 amos and 2/3, 70 and 2/3 amos, arochav 70 2/3, va'afilu eno meruba, and even if it's not rectangular or not square, dinu karmelis, it has a din of a karmelis. Also, also mimenu reshus yachid, also l'talta b'socha. Ela b'dala namas kimin degodol b'kol kach nichlik reshus rab mefichach akforim shebedinos brisen, the villages in land like Prussia, afagad she'osim mechitzos they study, even though it's protected on both sides. Kamo hapsachim l'shar also l'talta b'socha the lower kef b'dira. V'imhu rak bias b'sosayim, if it's only 2, has a length of 2 saws, kos kain b'pachos, even less, afagav shelo hukaf l'dira, even though it's not surrounded for dira, mutar l'talta b'kulo, v'kol makom asur l'hosi kli bias l'tocho, you can't put a kli bias inside it. Afilu k'shneim shel adam echad, afagav d'chatzar mutar, zeh grom michatzar mutar l'talta. להפך, מכל מקום המשך אין תשמיש כל כך גבוה. ולפיכך, מי שיש לו גן סמוך לביתו, if a person has a garden close to his house, in the tuim bo ilonos, if it has trees in it, והוא מוקף לדירה, and it's surrounded, dino kachotzer mamish, has a din of a chotzer metaltal menu, a bias that you can carry into your house. And be biased again, ilos, aim vatman dira. So came derech b'nei adam lalun bein ilos. Avam yesh bar zirayim yirakos afilu zera b'chatzar din b'karpav rayim vatman dira also lehotzi min abayis b'tocho, you can't carry from your house to it. Came lehefech. We're going to get to it. So it turns out that the yard site tomorrow of someone who we have tomorrow is someone who lives in our dira. And here, as a preview, over here, his name is Menachem Pfeiffer. And Menachem Pfeiffer has a yard site tomorrow of his father.
Yeah, how did you know?
And I know that, and I have, in fact, a full bio of him, which I'm going to give tomorrow. So if you're going to be here tomorrow at this time,
I'll come say hi.
More than hi, I want you to say what you know, something about your father.
Okay.
Just give us a little something. Because how old was you when your father
14,
was
33 years ago.
I know, but how, you were 14 years old?
Yeah.
Of course, you had 14 years to know your father.
Yeah, no, I also learned by him.
You learned...
He opened up a school for me, because I was there at
the
all the other schools in
the
South
name
Africa.
of it, Marsha.
Yeah, we were called the Martians.
Martians. But my question is, why all of a sudden the Maharsha? Who's it to?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Yeah, the Maharsha.
So the answer to that question, it's actually very interesting, is that the 5 people donated to the show. And the first
We're talking
letters,
about in Johannesburg.
Johannesburg, yeah. And the first letters of all the names was Mem, Hey, Rei, Shin,
Wow.
Aleph. So they call it the Marsha.
Wow,
Yeah.
Martians. Well, see that? You learned something.
Yeah.
So tune in for tomorrow when Menachem will tell us a little more about his father. And I have to tell you, he learned many different chashuva places. I mentioned every place that he
Yeah,
learned.
but didn't learn in any place for very long.
I know, but it's like saying when a Rav has so many different places, he can't hold a job. No, but they used to say that the good Bachrim in the good old days, they used to chap a rhyme. It was simple.
Yeah, but my father was very independent.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I would say the person he learned the most from actually was Rabbi Elephant.
Rabbi Elephant from
Yeah.
Itri.
Itri in Chadera.
Itri, Chadera.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Tune in tomorrow.
But he was independent. He was extremely independent.
Okay. I think I know someone else who's independent, like his son. Anyway, tune in tomorrow. Chaim Tovim.